Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about having your Mars squaring your partner's Pluto in synastry. Right off the bat, when you're working with two planets like Mars and Pluto in a square in this aspect, there can be somewhat of a clash between the two energies, especially because Mars is a very assertive energy and Pluto, on the other hand, is also a very intense kind of energy when it comes to control. This can be a problem between the Mars person and the Pluto person when they are coming together in a square. And ultimately, this can lead to some clashes in a lot of cases. When it comes to having this aspect, this can signify that within the relationship, there is going to be a lot of passion and that there is going to be a lot of desire and intense kind of attraction between the two partners, but that there's also going to be this very interesting interplay when it comes to control from both the Pluto person and the Mars person, which can really make for a lot of really deep-seated emotions to come up in the relationship, and this can in a lot of cases make the relationship somewhat explosive at times, but it can also lead to a lot of experiences of that transformational energy and a lot of transformational experiences that they go through when it comes to the things they get through or they experience within this relationship. And coming from both the Mars person side and the Pluto person side, they can come to find that with those clashes that are possible, they can experience a lot of power struggles at times, and even conflict can be something that's experienced in this relationship with this aspect. And this aspect can really catalyze that feeling of having a meeting with self or meeting your own shadow through the experiences that they go through together in this relationship. And this relationship can, in a lot of ways, lead to a lot of personal growth for both of them and also self-discovery, especially to do with them really getting to know themselves when it comes to their relationship to power and the dynamics between two people when it comes to power, and also when it comes to getting what you want in a relationship and being able to find a compromise in a relationship. The physical attraction and chemistry can be very intense and they can be very attracted towards each other because of this, and it can feel like something electric at first between the two of them. With these two planets, you've got very strong, raw desire and magnetic energy that's drawing the two together. And it can be very difficult to resist on both sides for both of the partners. And this can be what is really pulling them in and attracting each other to each other at first. In fact, the connection can go pretty deep, and it can even feel like at times this connection can be very all-consuming for both of the partners, in the sense that even when they're apart, they could be really yearning for each other, longing for each other. And if there's a spark, it's very noticeable, it's strongly felt and undeniable for both of them, because we've got intensity and we've got a lot of passion burning, and it can be very much of a very visceral kind of connection. And in a lot of ways, it's like an invitation to really get the opportunity to explore the depths of the desires that they have through this relationship, especially for the Mars person. Mars is all about going after what you want and being able to pursue a lot of those desires in some way. And Pluto is all about diving deep. So this relationship can be very exhilarating and thrilling in that sense, because it kind of provides that opportunity for both them, the Pluto person and the Mars person, to experience through this relationship. And so in that way, in the positive, the relationship with this is really forging a connection that's very exhilarating, it's very thrilling, and is also in a lot of ways a way to experience something that they haven't experienced before that feels very transformative for that reason. However, with the square here between these two planets, the issue really comes in when the clashes between Mars' very assertive nature clashes with Pluto person's need for control and dominance. There can actually be a lot of confrontations between the two partners in this relationship, and there can also be minor or major conflicts that do come up along the way in their relationship. And therein lies the tension in their relationship that can come up. And both of the partners in this relationship could want to take that position of being in the lead or the authority in this relationship when it comes to these things, and want to be able to assert their dominance and their influence over the other partner. And this could be where the clashes really come in this relationship. And depending on what sign these two planets are falling in, this can take different forms when it comes to the battle for control in this relationship. It could be as subtle as forms of manipulation or outright dominance. And there can be a battle between them for anyone to be willing to kind of compromise, especially when it comes to power in this relationship. And this can be the roots for that contentious atmosphere that can come up caused by this aspect in their relationship. And at times, emotions can really run high with this. It can go from 0 to 100, and it can get pretty explosive. It has the potential to get pretty explosive with this aspect. Like small disagreements can really escalate and can turn into really major ones or very explosive ones in some cases, and it's really fueled by a lot of passion, and that can be coming from other unresolved issues within the relationship. And it's possible that this aspect also makes it difficult for both or one of the partners to manage their emotions, and that can be emotions like anger, jealousy, or even at times resentment, because the intensity of this aspect can make it difficult to maintain a sense of emotional stability in this relationship, especially when it comes to working through any kind of conflicts in this relationship, which can make this relationship feel a little bit like a roller coaster, specifically when it comes to the emotions that are felt and experienced in this relationship. And which is something that, especially with this aspect, would be very important to focus on in their relationship, as well as things like respecting each other's boundaries and their different perspectives when it comes to how they're approaching control, power, and compromise, boundaries, and being open to hearing out a different perspective when it comes to these things within their relationship. Because overall, this aspect can show a relationship where they have the potential to really challenge each other within their relationship. At first, the Mars person can be very attracted to the Pluto person and even admire the Pluto person in a lot of ways. But as time goes on within this relationship, they can come to find that to be the same reasons that they're very strongly attracted to the Pluto person to be what challenges them within this relationship with the Pluto person. And they can feel like the Pluto person is in some way exerting power over them, which can lead to the Mars person feeling uncomfortable in this relationship, if not lead to conflict in their interactions with the Pluto person. Whereas on the other hand, the Pluto person can also feel very attracted to the Mars person for their assertiveness, and their assertive nature can be something that makes the Pluto person feel like they have met someone who can match them on their intensity. And it can be something that is strongly attractive to the Pluto person when it comes to how they feel about the Mars person. However, similarly, the Pluto person can come to feel challenged by this very thing about the Mars person as time goes on in their relationship, and the Pluto person may feel like they need to exert their power or their sense of control in this relationship, and that is how they clash can really begin in a lot of ways in this relationship. And overall, both the Pluto person and the Mars person are really getting the opportunity to meet the shadow side of themselves in this relationship with each other. And in that way, this relationship can really be an opportunity for them to evolve and experience transformation. However, that can be very challenging to go through, and it is not easy if they're open to it and if they are willing to, because with this aspect it can be a very challenging and not so easy experience to go through with someone. Well, that does it for this video on having your Mars squaring your partner's Pluto in Synastry. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful, and if you did, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to this channel for more videos. Well, that is where I love and leave you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys.